Hi and welcome. So there's this application that I've been playing around with, the HR Analytics application, and I've got a couple of things that I've done on this now. Basically, what exactly is this? So this is displaying different tabs. There are different tabs over here. On both these tabs, you can't see anything as of now. There are just two tabs, and it is salary analysis which has been done for a dataset which has got 26,000 plus records or observations. It's a stochastic data spread over 34 years, that is 1980 to 2014. What exactly is stochastic? It is just a statistical term for a time series dataset, which means that time is a critical factor, so it is spread over time. And there is some variability, or there is some, let's say there is some kind of a characteristic that it is showing which it would not show otherwise. So that characteristic is dependent on time. In this particular data set, what we'll see is that with time, the salary of this particular population that we are tracking, which is say one particular organization, their salary is increasing with time. So that is one thing that we can look at. Now basically what this application does is it says choose CSV file. So there's a comma separated value file which is lying on the hard disk, which we choose from here. It will ask us whether we want the headers. So by default the headers are there. Is it comma separated, semicolon, tab, whatever we can choose. So I'm just keeping comma. If I choose semicolon, it will not render properly because it's a CSV file. So that's the format that I want. So let me just try that. So if I choose tab, let's see what happens. And I go in here in one particular folder where I have this file saved, and I go and click on this. So it's a 4 KB file versus a 1641 KB and 1662 KB. So I'll come to these two other files. Let me first go to this 4 KB file, and it does not let me choose that. It says tab, it says ID variables not found in data, which means employee name. So in place of employee ID, I have tracked this by employee name. It says it can't find it. So if I just go and say comma, it doesn't give me an error, and it starts displaying that first initial 10 records over here. Now what do we get to see? We see year effective, that is the effective date of the salary hike. And as you can see, when I am scrolling over this particular say HTML table, it is reactive. There you can see the shade changing as I scroll up and down. And if I click on company, it gets sorted alphabetically. Let me click back. So it gets again sorted alphabetically, but in a declining order. But what I want is, I want it sorted by the serial number. Right? So I don't have employee IDs. The serial number itself I am using as some kind of a employee ID, this thing, but it's not necessarily required for this demo, so I don't necessarily have that. I have department name, I have company name, I have employee name. These are all just randomly generated names. I have grades starting from 2 to I think 7. I have location ID, so this is different locations that these people are working at. Then I have 3 different statistics for this, 4 different statistics for this employee group. And then I have the CTCs. Now if I click on this, it says click to chunk master data in pages. So if I want to chunk it together, so I'll get how many records on one particular page? That is 10. Presume I want 30, so I can straight away go in and key in 30, or I could even say 29 over here. I can scroll up and down, so that is there. And let's say there are 29 and I scroll down, so 29 on this particular page and 50. Okay, so it's total of 51 that I have in this particular sample that I have picked up. That's ZZ file that I picked up. Okay, so what else can I do with this? Nothing much over here. So I want to analyze this. I want to probably see a scatter plot. So this is my scatter plot. It might, okay. Now this is a normal looking scatter plot. Nothing fancy over here. But it is reactive. So the moment my mouse goes up somewhere, it shows me certain values. Now what is it showing me? It's showing me 1989, and That's the salary figure. And the department, as you can see the legend for the department over here, it says BFFL. And if I click on this BFFL, then that BFFL will vanish. So that department is just a code. That BFFL could mean absolutely anything. Could be finance, marketing, whatever. And the other department, BOS, so that also vanishes. And the only department which is left is this, that is FFHR, Fin, whatever. Right. So now let me click them back, and now you see all the departments plotted. And I just picked up this particular scatter plot wherein I just have 51 records which are visible to us, and that also in a reactive manner. So whenever I scroll somewhere, it gives me that particular salary, it gives me that year, and it gives me the name of that department. So those are the three things which I am tracking in this particular scatter plot. If you go over here, you see, okay, it is 800,000 is the salary. The year is 1988, and the department is FFFHR. So let's go over here and let's look at 1988 and the second this thing 1988 and FFH. Okay, so it has to be one of these two, and 80k salary. So it is record number 21 basically that we were viewing over there, right? So this is the information that I am getting, because these are the three information that I am tracking. So I have gone ahead and factored on these particular three variables or these particular columns. Otherwise I could have seen these stats and other things also. That is pretty easy. So that is not a challenge. So having seen this scatter plot, I will want to now go to the other plots which are there. Those plots are pretty simple, but all of them are reactive. The reason I do not use a scatter plot beyond 51 observations because of the memory size of my laptop, it actually hangs. Then I'm not able to create the video. So there's a slight challenge. So what I'll do is I'll let this be here, and I'll pick up the one which has got the much more larger data sets that I can play around with. Okay. And I will, now this has got grayed out even though it's reactive, but it's got grayed out, which shows that, you know, this is no more active, or this application is not running as of now. The other application is running, and you see over here on my local host or on my local IP of my system, this changes, right? So earlier it was, so this is my local host any which ways, but the last 4 digits change. Now again, so 26,000 plus is what I said. Now we get to see that 26,000 plus because I don't want a scatter plot now, and I can afford to get in this data set, which is 1641 KB. It's a CSV file. So text file, which is okay, and here you have it. You've chunked it by 10. I go to the very last one. It shows me 26,163 records. So nothing huge. It's not big data or anything of that sort. But what I'm trying to show you is how fast and how reactive this is. So there's hardly any delay. The moment I click on these, it immediately changes. And similarly, I could go ahead and say 100 over here. So it will show me 100 records on a particular page. I can scroll down and I can see 100 are there. If I go to the last page, that is 262, I'll see 100 records over there. Right? Again, the data set is the same. Now, what I want to basically do is, I can forget about this now. I want to see the plots. So this one says sample scatter plot, non-reactive. So this is non-reactive plot. So it shows year effective, which is the year starting from 1980 spread out to 2015. And like I was saying, this organization initially, okay, they had some, say starting from 1980 to say 85 or something, yeah, 85. They had salary which was spread out, and you know they were outliers, and they were the CTC figures. They were quite spread out, but then they got clubbed together, and over a period of time you can see this trend wherein it is rising. Which means there's a positive trend for salary increases in this organization. which is okay. So that's just just showing you as to when we plot 26,000 plus data points on a scatter plot, and there is something which we could not have made out otherwise. We can see that the CTC is increasing. So there is value in this visualization. Going next to the again, it says master data. So sorry, this one should not have said sample scatter. So it is master scatter. The entire data set is shown over here. So I need to change this. It says master data density plot and non-reactive again, because this is also not like the earlier, wherein we were scrolling and we were getting values. It is not that. It is faceted. So these are facets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. These are company names, or the business unit names that we have. If we go over here, we get to see the company names. So these are the business unit names, what we sorted out earlier. So you can see Zeta Corp and Alta Corp and Zeta. Okay, so these are company names. So similarly, you get to see them sorted out over here. So what we get to see is that maximum population is in AmCorp, and also the one particular department. So this x-axis has departments over there. So one particular department of AmCorp has a higher density of employees over there. So if you see on the right side, this legend shows you departments. So this different colors is department. So this one particular department, which could be say BFFL, and if I can't read this properly, and if I have to strain my eyes, I have to simply just go and zoom in into my. You can see I zoomed in 150% over there, and I zoom in again 175%, and I scroll down. And this is reactive to that sense. It will, depending on how much memory I have on my laptop, my browser will adjust accordingly. Because initially I have set this plot to just 500 pixels, but it will adjust accordingly. So this does not usually happen with just static plots. So it is not static in that sense. So as you can see, the width has reduced, and I can see these departments much clearer now. And the facets have not lost their clarity, and I can still see this. Okay, so this is one example. Let me go back to say 100% or little less than that. Okay, so you see this is a dynamic plot. It is again adjusting into the browser space that is there. So it is expanding towards width wise. It is expanding. Okay. Now let's look at the other this thing. So this is a sample bar plot, and this is reactive. Reactive to the extent, what is this? This is a count. So this is count of employees for that particular company. So it has been factored by company. It says on the x-axis, factored by company, and on the y-axis you have count on the vertical axis. And again, the company names are there. The company or the business unit names are there. Alta Corp, AmCorp, Beta Corp, SD Corp, Zeta Corp. And when I go anywhere on this particular Zeta Corp, it highlights Zeta Corp on the legend down here. It also highlights the count. So that is the count of employees. It says 12,991. And that K in the end shows that it's 1,000 in this thing. So, and this is 202 in SD Corp, 287 in Beta Corp. AmCorp has got 1,028, and similarly 11,655 over here. And you see that the scale is auto configured. So I have not gone ahead and configured the scale. It has got auto configured. So if we had say 15,000 over here, the scale would have gone to say 15 or 16,000. Again, if I reduce the size of my browser, it will change accordingly. It will adjust with my browser. So in case I want to zoom in somewhere, there is something that I need to see, I can do that. Okay. Now, density we've seen. Okay. Again, so the color is different, but the plot is the same. So the values are same, the color is different. So I just kind of just changed some color. And what we can do is we can also have a dynamic this thing over here, wherein we can keep on playing with this. So this is a very basic example of what can be done with this particular application, and not only HR data, but absolutely any kind of data that we might have within the organization, which we might want to analyze. And the analysis has also not happened here. This is just displaying data. This is just what we call descriptive statistics. Just descriptive statistics, not even, there is no analysis that has happened over here. So the analysis can also be automated, absolutely anything can be done, which is possible standalone. And that's about it. That's the potential of this application. Thanks a lot.